Alright, so in this video I'm going to go through the entire process for setting up a ticket, resolving it, and pushing the branch back. So first you're going to need to get git bash, and you're going to need so you can download git bash and install it on your computer, and also install GitHub Desktop. Yeah, because GitHub Desktop is at first you'll be starting with GitHub Desktop. It just looks like this, where you have your repository, your branch, and you can visually see what's going on. There are easy functions to use, whereas Git Bash allows you to do a lot more, and it can get you out of trouble it should be all set as long as you follow the steps for this. So once you've downloaded GitHub Desktop, so once you've downloaded GitHub Desktop, you need to add the repository. So you'll say new repository and you're going to say clone a repository, and you'll put the URL of the repository. Where do you find the URL for the repository? Well, that's easy. You just go to our project. Our project is here. So you will go to the project. You will move back one, and this is the actual repository with all of the files. You can just click on git clone and copy this address and just paste it in here. And here is the path on your computer where the repository will be placed. I didn't copy the repo, but anyways, for git bash, it's the same thing, except that you can do it by either navigating to the folder you want with git bash, or you can right click on a folder. So for me it would be CD and then CD AR or TotalRespawn. ARZ main. ARZ single. And this is actually I am actually in the repository, so one step back, I would do git clone and then paste the URL. That's how you do it with git bash, and that will just pull the repository down to your computer. And to show you, here is the actual repository. I'll show you that it's the exact same thing. Single. You can see that it has app. App is actually forgotten. Assets, external libraries also omitted. Project settings. And if you look at there we go, assets, external HAL toolkit, project settings, and the git ignore. The git ignore file is a file that tells you what to ignore. It does not update these folders. Any folder that starts with a capital A or small a followed with app with pp will not be included. App. Also, we don't want to include any temps, and we don't want to include any libraries. Libraries are just built DLLs from the project, so everybody must have. They're huge, and people will just be building the project on their computer anyways, so we don't include those. Externals we need because that holds a few tools, like a server for Holo Toolkit, and it allows for shared experience and a couple of other things. And Windows Store app is also another folder we don't include. That usually is used for building the game via the API that Hollow Toolkit gives us, or we can build the game in app as well. That's why we don't share these two folders, app and Windows Store. So in any case, and this git ignore can be changed later in case if we have anything to exclude. So at this point, what do we have? At this point, you have downloaded git bash, and you either went to the folder that you wanted, and you did git clone and pasted the URL of the repository. Or another way of doing it with git bash, which is pretty cool, is just right-clicking on any folder where you want git bash to start, and you say git bash here, and you would just do the same thing, git clone, and paste that URL that I showed you, and your folder, the ARZ single game, will be placed here. In GitHub desktop, same thing, clone repository, put the URL there, and boom, you've got it. So now let's make 2 tickets and actually a milestone for this experience that we're going to do. So I go to issues, I go to milestones, and this will be a learning milestone. Sorry, there we go. Learning Git, learning our process. And I'll say that it's due here, tomorrow, and I'll create the milestone. Now I will create 2 tickets. Actually, what I should have done is, I'll create 2 tickets, 2 issues. One will be update. We'll just do something very simple, like in the game, the main menu, just update the title of the main menu. Update main menu title. Here we're gonna say 1 will be so first will be download git. 2 will be download and install GitHub desktop. And then here we'll do change title in main menu. Oh, so in main menu to ARZ arcade v1. So that will be 1 ticket, and it will be, the assignee will be myself. Label will make it very minor, and the projects will assign it to ARZ complete project, and the milestone will, this ticket will count towards this milestone, which is the learning process. We submit the issue. And we'll make another ticket just to see what 2 tickets look like. This will be we'll change an asset. Let me think of something that is very minor. We will. Okay, we will take a zombie from wonder what I can do with a simple asset. Okay, we'll just move the light, something like this. Move the light in. Create a light. Yeah, that way. Create. So there's one a scene that's called sandbox. Create a light source, and all we'll do here is create a light, a directional light. Okay, and we shall submit this. Oh, sorry, assigning myself. Label will be also super minor, and project this project, so that we can see it in the on the board. And the milestone that it's going to count to is learning process. Okay, now let's go to the board, the projects board. There we go. We will see that we have 2 cards created. Let's put them in the backlog. And they're sitting there. Great. Now we will put them in the current sprint. And after doing our talk, we did our talk and we realized, okay, these need to be in the current sprint. And now I turn on my computer and I see that they're here. I'm assigned to them, so I need to work on them. Update main menu title, let's do that one first. I'll put it in progress. Let's see what that entails. So, okay, download, git, and install. So I downloaded Git and I installed it. I check it off. I downloaded and installed GitHub Desktop. I check it off. Now changing the title, let's see. So, if you're in GitHub Desktop and you have downloaded the repository, first thing you always want to do is fetch origin. So let's get to the correct repo first. It's arg single. Arg single. There you go. Fetch origin. If you were doing it from git bash, it's the same thing. Arg main, arg single, start bash here, and we're gonna say git pull, so that pulls the latest latest changes. So let's look at them. Let's look at them and visually explain what's going on. Single project network. So the repository, the external repository, the one on GitHub, has a master branch that is at the latest. It's here, and I want to make sure that I have these changes. So I did a git pull. That way, my latest commit is this 48b3692. And if I check the latest commit here by just doing git k, I can see that on my computer, my latest commit is 48b3692. I'm on the right. I have the exact same copy as what's out there. In desktop, it's the same thing. You can just look at history, and here we will see that here's the hash of the last commit. So I'm up to date. So what I'm gonna do is, we never do, where that's the most important thing, we never do any work on master branch. I've been doing some work on master branch, but also I was only by myself. But major rule, master is the branch that has the working version of the game. So we always want to create a branch from it. And actually the way we do it, let me go to the visual. We actually make a dev branch off of master, and people will be branching off of dev, doing their work, and then pushing back to dev. Now once everybody pushes back to dev and it's the end of the week, now we see that once dev is working, we merge all of the work to master. So we would go to the dev branch. Of course, we have to make sure that the dev branch is also up to date. Why am I doing it? I shouldn't be doing push, but anyways, let's just fetch origin. There we go. And actually, you will see that if I do a git status here, I will be on dev. Yeah, see, it pushed me onto dev. Same thing, I could have done git checkout dev to switch from master to dev, but I'm already switched. Okay, now that we have dev, this is where we're going to create our branch with, we're going to call it dev Nabil, and the work that I'm working on. And right now I am working on a ticket called I am working on update main menu. So I will create a branch. Make sure you are on dev to create a branch from dev, so it creates a copy of that branch. Where is it? Branch, new branch. It's going to ask me, do you want it from master or dev? We're going to say dev, and we're going to call it dev so that we know what to merge back to. Nabil, because I'm the one working on it. I think it's an underscore. Yeah, I think it's an underscore, and main, we're going to call it menu update. Create a branch. Sweet, we are on that branch. And let's see, if we go online, if we go on the visual representation of, and we refresh, we will not see any changes, right? Because that branch has been created locally. If you publish this branch, then it'll get pushed to the GitHub repo, and everybody will be able to see it. And right now will just be a straight line. We're all going to be here. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. So now we have 4 branches that are all at the same level, and this is the one we're going to be working on. That way we isolate ourselves from the work done, and our mess will not affect it, affect the game until we combine that work. Okay, so I'm on that branch. If I were to check this on Git bash, same thing. Actually, for this ticket, I'm going to do it with GitHub Desktop. For the next ticket, I'll do it with Git bash. Sweet. Okay. Changes made, nothing. Alright, so we're ready to open our game. Here's the single, assets, scenes, and let's open the main menu scene. Had a long night. Barely waking up. I was gonna make I was going to film while I was doing work, but then I realized, yeah, I don't know how long it would be, because I'm doing something completely new. Oh look, so most likely on your version, when you click on the scene, Unity will open it directly. Don't know what I've done to my Unity. I've had 2 versions running at the same time, and I deleted one, and now whenever I click on the scene, it just opens the main menu of Unity, where I have to choose what project to open. Okay, so I did click that, right? Yeah, Unity is running. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit to open. There we go. I did see something flash. Alright. It's opening. And since we have not done any changes here, if you look at your GitHub desktop, you'll see that nothing has changed. But as soon as I make a little change, so let's go to the title here. It's called Dev 5-Minute Game, and we said we wanted to make it ARZ, what was it, ARZ? Arcade. Let's get the title. And there we go. Main menu title, change it to ARZ Arcade V1. Alright. Canvas, title. That. And as soon as I save, I should see that I have made one change. And it's made in the main menu, Unity, and here is the value. It's been changed from Dev 5-Minute Game to this. So as a rule of thumb, it's always important to only make changes to that pertain to the ticket that you're working on. So for example, this one was changing the title, but let's say I also notice that something's been misspelled somewhere else, and I decide to change, let's say this guy, still HTK, and it's actually 1.120. Now there's going to be two changes logged. I said now there's going to be two changes. Save scene, save project. Why didn't it take the last change? Oh yeah, oh, sorry. Yes, it's always in the main menu. This is the second change. So if there are too many changes, if one ticket is related to doing a certain task, and within the same branch we do more than one change, it's gonna get confusing, because when we look at the map, we want to be sure that at this point, alright, all I've done was implementing voice trigger special zombie. That's the only work that's been done there. That way we can remove we can play around with commits and make sure that when we remove one commit, it's only that one change that was done. Imagine if I had done this implements the voice but also something else that we want to keep. It'd be really hard to split the changes into two, and so yeah, one commit per change made. Now you'll also notice that I have not been doing that. It's easy to say what to do, but yeah, since I've been working by myself, I've set up left player and right player. Most likely, I'm pretty sure that I've done other work on that. Actually, no, this one looks pretty clean. Yeah, actually, this one looks pretty clean. But yeah, I've had a few commits that say that it's changing one thing, but in fact, there's a bunch of other things that have been changed, and I'm going to refrain from doing that from now on, now that the team is big. So, all right. So let's see. Let's pretend. Let's pretend I have done a change that I didn't want to include. So let's go into, for example, sandbox, right? And here I decide to add a light here on the same ticket, right? I said what not to do. Where is light? Right here. Let's make a point light, right? Let's save. And now if we go here, we'll see that there's been two scenes that have been changed. You can undo your changes very easily with GitHub Desktop, but with Git Bash there are different stages that you have to know, and it's a little more complicated, and there's different command for undoing things depending on what stage you're in, whether you're in the staging area, whether you've committed and pushed. Whereas here in GitHub Desktop, all it takes is just right-clicking and discard changes. Click discard, and actually when you go back to the scene, reload, And yes, there we go, my sandbox is back the way it was. Alright, so I've done my changes to the main menu. I'm going to save the project and I guess just minimize. You're going to call this made the update to main menu, just yeah, or updated main menu title changed, and you can write a little description here. Changed just for later. Changed title to this, and we're going to commit the changes. So now the changes are committed on your computer, but they are not visible in the remote repository. If we refresh, nothing, and actually Git desktop will tell you that that you are one commit beyond what we have in the in the global, in the remote repository. So technically we are here, we've made one commit that is further. So all you have to do, so you can actually keep on doing, if you have more than, if the ticket involved more than one thing, you can keep on working and then add the next commit. Once you're done, you can just push origin. And you will see that, okay, so our commit was 4BAE, right? That's the latest commit. And now if we go to the remote desktop, we will see that, oh look, this branch made the commit 4BAE, and it's ahead of master, and that's all good and dandy. I wonder if we should do pull requests to dev, or just have each dev. Well, let's see. Let's work on the second. So now that I've done that, let's go back to, let's keep track of our work. Change to main menu has been done. Alright. And so if we go into our projects, we'll see that update main menu title has been, is 3 out of 3. And here it would be, I guess, ready for QA. So now that somebody has pushed their branch and it's ready for QA, somebody else could pull their branch and look at the work. And basically, they're going to do, they're going to come here, and their branch will be showing here at the bottom as origin dev Nabil menu update. And they will just click on that, and they will do a fetch, and they will pull all the work done. They will open their Unity, and they will go to main menu and affirm that the title is now ARZ Arcade V1. If no changes need to be done, they'll just say, okay, this work has been approved, or this work failed QA, and we push it here. And now we can work on yeah, no, before that, when it's approved, that means, okay, so when it's approved, no, it's only going to be approved when it's merged correctly into dev. So the next person is going to come in and check the work and say that it works, and what they're going to do is this is the new UI. Let's see. There we go. They're going to go to dev, and they're going to, is it merge into current branch? Yeah, we're going to merge this into dev. I'll do the same thing with Git Bash. I'm more comfortable with Git Bash actually. So they're going to push, and what we'll see is that that work has been merged onto the dev branch. There we go. So now dev is at this point. Dev has had the change made, and so does this. So let's look at what master looks like and what dev looks like right now. So dev, most likely it's the same thing. I open my Unity, reload, nothing should have changed. You see that the title is still the same. Now let's change branches back to master, and now you'll see that on master the title is still dev 5-minute game. So master has not been changed yet. Let's get back to dev, and at this point, once we've merged to dev, actually I'm not sure when we should be deleting branches. I think that it's okay to delete now, especially if the person has checked and said that branch is good, that the changes were good. We can just go to devnab minute update, and we're just going to delete that branch, and it's going to say, do you want to delete the local and remote? Yes. Okay, it's going to push me back to the default master, and there we go. And if we look at what happened on the interwebs, we will see that this branch is gone. Now we just have dev. Okay, well then, now let's do the next ticket. So the next ticket was fairly simple, but we have to make sure to follow the same steps. We have to branch off of dev. Oh, it's actually getting interesting now. Yeah. Okay, so check this out. So the next ticket that we want to work on is so update menu title. It's not that one. There we go. Sandbox create light. Let's make it in progress. So I will make a new branch, but I have to make sure to branch off of dev. We don't want to branch off of master, because if you look, you have to look at the map. If we branched off of master, we would have work that does not include the change that was made in the main menu. We want to branch off of this, off of the current dev. So either in GitHub Desktop, it's like I said, you go to dev, you make sure you fetch to get the latest dev, the latest changes made to dev, and then you branch, and you make your branch name. If not, let's go back to master. In git bash, git status, to see where we're at. We are in master, and we're going to do a git pull to get everything's latest change. Alright, we're going to do a git checkout dev to change to the dev branch. We can also, well, I'm pretty sure we have the latest changes here. Let's look. Git k. Latest changes in dev here is the 5BEA, and the changes have been done in main menu, and you can see what has changed. The value the dev 5-minute game has been changed to ARZ 1-minute arcade. Oh yeah, and we also changed that, which is bad. I didn't unchange it. Anyways, let's keep on going. Here we're going to make a new branch off of dev. Git checkout B, and the name of the branch will be dev Nabil underscore sandbox light. There we go. It creates that branch and it puts us on that branch. Great. So if I open my Unity, I should have the changes made to main menu because we got that from the dev branch. And let's go to sandbox, and we're going to create a light, a directional light. We're going to save. Now if we look at what's changed, git status, it's going to say, oh, there's been a change made in sandbox. So we're going to say git add all of these changes, git commit with a message added lights, added directional, added lights, light to sandbox. And now if we look at the onlines, nothing has changed. We're still at the same level we were at before we made the changes, because the changes here have just been local. We can restart, refresh, nothing has changed. But now we're going to do a git push origin dev Nabil sandbox light. Once we do this, we'll see that our changes has been added to a branch that was created from dev. Once we are done with that and we're satisfied with our result, we will check it off and say that it's done. Okay, and then when we go into our project, we'll just move that ticket to ready for QA. Right here. Oh, the other one should have been approved because it went to dev. I open the project and I realize that it's good, and so I merge it to dev. So I'm the QA person. Check out dev. So I change into the dev branch, and then I say git merge dev sandbox dev Nabil sandbox light, and then I say git push origin dev, and that should have pushed all of the changes. And now our branch looks like, there we go, dev is now at this level, which is the same level as this this branch that we created. Master still does not have any changes done to it. Well, that, okay, so then we delete the branch. Let's do it from GitHub Desktop, branch, delete, oh, cancel. I need to publish the branch so I can delete it from both local and remote. Delete, there we go, local and remote, delete that branch. It's going to send me back to master, and here we see that there's only dev left. So now dev should be, like, when we approve tickets, that means that dev is working correctly, and we are pretty sure that we can merge master, we can merge dev into master. The way to do that, we cannot do it directly from GitHub Desktop or Git Bash. We have to send a pull request. So, pull requests, let's make a pull request from the dev branch. And I haven't used this latest UI. The old UI was something that looked like this, if it wants to ever open. Let's see if I can figure out how to make a pull request here. Most likely it's branches. Oh, create pull request. There we go. Yeah, this is the old UI. And pull requests were right here. Okay. Oh, it actually also gave you a little. Oh yeah, I like the old UI. It also gave you a little diagram of where you were, and you can see that dev is definitely stemmed off of master and has 2 commits made to it. I like the old. Although the new one has some pretty funky. I forgot where I found it. View. You can like edit it any way you want. Oh, I forgot. Anyways, let's just developer tools. There we go. So if you know some front-end code, this is all HTML and CSS. You can totally change colors of backgrounds and whatnot. It's pretty cool. You can tailor this the way you want it. So yeah, I'd rather have like that visual graph. Anyway, so dev, we're gonna say create pull request. Interesting. Alright. So dev is ready to be merged to master. I changed the main menu title and added light to sandbox, no probs. So we're gonna create the pull. Ooh, interesting. I guess we can put labels and stuff to it. This is changed. Anyways, create the pull request. So now the pull request has been created, I think either Jeff Paquette or I will check it and yeah, and then merge the work into master. Confirm merge, and let's see what happened. Yay, there you go. So dev has been merged into master, and the last thing I want to do is to update dev to be at the same level as master, and dev Nabil as well. So I'll just do that from git. That I'll just do myself. There we go. And I'll also go to my git checkout dev Nabil. Make sure that I have the latest changes, and now I can just say git merge dev. Push. Hello? Oh, hi. Yes, 1 second. Let me just, ooh, I can't even stop this. One second. I have to take a phone call, so I'm going to stop the stream. Before I stop the stream, let me just make sure that everything has updated. Where was I? Right here. Let me just reload, and now all the branches should be at the same level. Oh, wait. Dev did not get pushed to the right place. I'm gonna fix this after the phone call. Thank you for watching.